Morning, good morning. Now it's a little bit after 5:01 a.m. in the morning. Thursday morning, 19th of December, Yud Ches, Kislev. Tomorrow happens to be big Yom Tov Chabad, Yad Kislev. And Mishiaka is 6:27. That means you can put on the Talis until by 6:27. And actually 6:28, 6:27, 6:26 or something like that. And Shabbos is Monroe is 4:15. I look upstairs tomorrow, and here in Lakewood's 4:16. I'm going to give a shiur right now. The shiur is sponsored by Chaim, the handyman, several other sponsors. They don't want their names mentioned. And anybody wants to sponsor, they can sponsor. If you want to be mentioned, you could leave a message on either my phone or my WhatsApp at 329-225-2339 or send a Zelle to 848-238-4432 and leave a message and say that you want to sponsor. When your company is sponsor, you can send a Zelle over to sponsor. Thank you very much. You can give a shiur on the family lesson of the day of Chaim. Or Yud Ches Kislev. Yud Ches Kislev. Aleph Kislev, Yud Ches Kislev. Yud Ches Kislev. Men of truth. A first step in mastering the quality of Shmiras Lashon is to train oneself not to inquire about the latest gossip. Like one day someone walked into the shul, a very kranke mensch, fat person, grobe shemen, walks in Motzei Shabbos and says, "No, what's get the lushin hara to hear in the flesh of Motzei Shabbos?" I looked at him, I told him, I wonder why he's sick. Of course, he has all types of sicknesses in him. Men of truth. Rabbi Yaakov Yosef Herman was a great American Torah pioneer. All for the boss. Rabbi Yaakov Yosef's daughter, Ruchamat Shem, paints a picture of a man whose heart at home had a place for every Jew and who feared no one but Hashem. Rabbi Yaakov Yosef would do anything to help a Jew in need or to help someone come closer to Torah. At the same time, he stood ready to defend the honor of Torah, to ensure that the halacha was not trampled upon. Like someone the other day called me to advertise, told me, would I like to advertise Chaim, the handyman, in a special phone system that they send out a text, and the first person who responds gets this call. So I told him, in a way, it's going to be a nos davar. So what if all of a sudden someone sees a text and he knows the person is a customer? His customers are of his already, and is a friend of his, and he sees he missed the call. Then he goes and asks a friend, "What did you use for the call?" And he hears you use Chaim the handyman or Moshe the handyman. And he finds out that he called me the next day in shul. He said, "You took away my job." You know, the way it would be on nos davar, right? I mean, if he says that, it'll be on nos davar. But even if he hears who he finds out from the customer who did it, it'll be on nos davar. So, pi halacha, such a system will be usher to use for handyman system. He lived in America in the early 1900s, at a time when many who viewed themselves as observant Jews sometimes did things in public that clearly were contrary to Torah. Yaakov Yosef did not hesitate to point out that the error, even if he meant becoming the object of scorn and insult. You mentioned this, Rabbi Yaakov Yosef was the kind of person described by the Chofetz Chaim in today's segment. If the speaker is someone known to everyone as a man who does not show favoritism, whatever he says when his friend is not present, he would say in his presence he fears no one, and he is renowned as someone who speaks only the truth. In the previous segment, we learned that when speaking Lashon Hara to Elis, the speaker must address a group of at least 3 people so that no one will suspect him of lying or trying to conceal the report from its subject. Today's segment, we learn an exception to this rule. The speaker is the fearless, truthful person described above, that no one will suspect him of lying or trying to hide his intentions. Therefore, he is permitted to relate information even to 1 or 2 people. Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, a great Torah leader of recent times, was renowned as a man of truth. When he was past age of 90, someone asked him if he could think of a particular zechus merit that earned him a long life. Yaakov replied, "Never did I knowingly say an untruth." As a young man in Russia, Rabbi Yaakov was ordered to appear before an army officer for possible induction. When Rabbi Yaakov stated why he felt himself exempt from army service, the officer accused him of lying. Yaakov replied, "I never lied in my entire life." His words were said with such conviction that the officer exempted him. Even a non-Jew believed the words of a man who would speak nothing but the truth. Certainly, a Jew would believe the words of such a man and not suspect him of distorting the truth. Someone whose integrity is beyond reproach can relate Lashon Hara to others, even to 1 or 2 people. So basically, we see from this that to stick to the truth, and not only that, to stick to halacha. That when we try to say something, we have to say something usually in the manner of truth, that we shouldn't say a lie, but we should stick to halacha, and we shouldn't say Lashon Hara on it as well. It should only be to us. Anyways, this shiur again is sponsored by Chaim, the Handyman, and many other sponsors who don't want their names to be mentioned. And anybody else wants to sponsor could either text me at either 848-238-4432 or 329-225-2339 and send a Zelle to 848-238-4432 saying that you want to sponsor for the shiur. Call to bye-bye.